Yeah. And I think it's part of the evolution from procurement to strategic sourcing, right? Where in the past we were just buyers and we were very executional, to this new thought that we should really be strategic and we should really be the liaison and be partners. And what value can we provide? But I do find it very hard to say on the back end. Most of us are so busy with the front end and the sourcing and the coming up with strategy. The tracking and measuring at the end sometimes gets lost, right? And there's this great graph that shows this is what happens to your contract if you measure it. And this is how much it actually gets here to. And this is how much value you lose if you don't track and measure, what happens after it gets put in place. Because most of the time, people just kind of move on to the next thing. And we're constantly, hey, new RFP, new this. If we're not focused on making sure what we did got implemented like a consultant, then where is the value? How do we know what we got out of it? And I think there's so many times where people implement great things, great intentions with the contract, and then at the end of the day, they don't come to fruition, and you just don't see the value out of them because either they didn't implement them the right way, or they didn't implement it at all. Or to your point, like, hey, did we go into this market? Well, no, because X, Y, and Z. At least you're able to make an informed decision. So maybe it was good ROI on the project overall, but us being able to not just be buyers, to think strategically, you really do need as much information data as you can get, because analytically minded people can take that and cut it and slice it and dice it 5 different ways to say, okay, if you look at from this perspective, we could figure out something here. And if you look at it slice the other way, from an industry perspective, you can do it here. You can do a lot more with just buying something and just, the transactional procurement than you could without that data.